this is Beth from Beth Davis Coaching. I'm a women's health and fitness coach, specialising in working with women with core and pelvic floor issues, helping them to get stronger, more confident, and getting them back to the exercise they love. So my video today is going to be a little diastasis self-check. And one of the key things about diastasis is that actually we are thinking about more than just the width of the gap. And contrary to popular belief, we're not actually talking about completely closing the gap either. We're talking about really understanding what's going on, but also thinking about how well the core functions. So what I'm going to do is just take you through 4 steps which I use to help assess my clients. And all of my assessments are done over Zoom at the moment, and that's an amazing opportunity for women to place their hands on their own body and to talk about what they feel and how it's making them feel. So the first thing I'm going to do is come down just into a lying position. And if you want to, you could pop something under your head, like a pillow or a yoga block or something. Just got my ponytail in the way. Okay, and I'm just going to feel down my midline. So I'm not doing anything at the moment apart from feeling all the way down from just beneath my sternum down towards my pubic bone. Just kind of seeing how that feels. So for me, still feels a little softer around my belly button. I'm almost 3.5 years postnatal with my second. I still have a fairly decent kind of diastasis. Okay, so I've got a sense of kind of what that tissue feels like at rest. The next thing I'm going to do is bring my head and my shoulders up a little bit, so doing like a mini crunch. I'm then going to test the width of the gap. I'm going to come up and just test first part, and if you feel like you need to come back down, you can, and then coming back up to test the second part. Like I feel that I've still got around about kind of 2.5 fingers around my belly button. So that's just the width. Next, I'm going to think about checking the depth. So I'm going to use my fingers this way. And again, I'm going to come up. And there's not much depth to this. Okay, so we're just thinking about kind of how that tissue feels. And again, if you feel like you need to come down, have a little rest. And then go back up. And do that again. And then coming down. So we've talked about the width and the depth, and I'm now just going to see how that tissue feels when I come up. So what's happening when I press gently down? I'm getting some springiness kind of in that tissue. Okay, so it feels quite strong. Okay, so the next thing and the last thing we're going to think about is, do we have the ability to create some tension? And the idea of creating tension is important for the diastasis because actually that's our ability or inability to transfer load, to actually be able to retrain the core. So there's different ways of doing this. I'm going to just show you 2 ways. So one is to use, I've got a Pilates ball, but you could use a cushion. Just come down into this position. So I've got my feet flat on the floor. I'm going to inhale, exhale. And I'm just seeing if I can create a little bit of tension down my knicker-line. So it's kind of like drawing in. And then if I was to come up and retest, I can feel, actually feels harder than when I just came up and kind of tested like this. So I'm able to create some tension through there. There's a kind of like a stiffening of the tissue. And essentially what's happening is that my deep core muscles are switching on, creating some stiffness through there, which we need for stability. We want the deep core to switch on before we do a movement, so it switches on in anticipation of a movement. So that's one way to do it. Another way is to take your Pilates ball or cushion, and again you just press gently here. And again I can feel, particularly towards the top of my abdominals, a little bit of tension creating there. Fabulous. And what you can do is to just jot down on a piece of paper what you found. And if you want to share that with me, it'd be lovely to hear your findings and potentially chat about how you can kind of move forward with healing your diastasis.